Good evening, and welcome to another World of Warships video with Captain Darkwing Glacier. In this battle, I'm taking out my Tier 7 Premium American Cruiser, the Indianapolis. Right now, Wargaming is running an Indianapolis Marathon, where through July 16th, if you complete 21 of 26 missions, you get the Indianapolis and a 6-point captain. If, like me, you already have the Indianapolis, instead you get a port slot, a commander, and an amount of credits equal to the ship's cost. Once you have the Indianapolis, you can also use it to complete the 2,600 nautical miles of Indianapolis mission, which runs from June 1st to July 25th. All you need to do is play with the Indianapolis in random battles at least once every 3 days. This will earn you up to an additional 18 containers of the American Cruisers collection. The Indianapolis was released soon after I started playing World of Warships in 2016, and therefore it was the first premium ship that I purchased for World of Warships, and it's also the ships that I played the most battles with. The reviews it received when it first came out were not great, saying that it wasn't any better than the non-premium Pensacola, which already has a bad reputation for having paper armor and decent guns, but it's just so fragile that no one liked it that much. At the time, the Pensacola was Tier 7. Now it's been moved to Tier 6 with the recent realignment of the American cruiser line. Now the New Orleans is taking up the Tier 7 spot. Now, the gimmick of the Indianapolis, which is what separated it from the tier tree, the tech tree, is that it had the surveillance radar consumable, which was not available to any other ship at Tier 7 at that time. Surveillance radar was exclusively for Tier 8 and up ships. Now, I always thought the Portland-class cruisers were pretty cool ships compared to their contemporaries, and so I decided to pick up the Indianapolis. And I've had to say I've had a lot of fun with it. I seem to do pretty well. The guns are very accurate. The ship is pretty maneuverable, and yes, I have been punished a lot when I exposed too much broadside, and it would have been nice if it had a repair party, but that's kind of asking for too much. But I've learned to take cover in this ship. I've learned to be careful in it and expose my broadside at the very minimum whenever possible, and I have to say that the surveillance radar comes in very handy sometimes when I need to take out a destroyer that's in smoke. So here in this game, I've gone west of the sea cap, and I'm lucky in that I'm able to take out an enemy York. One of my teammates was able to do a significant amount of damage to him, so I was able to finish him off with my own salvo, and that gives me kill number 1. Now here come the enemy torpedoes, launched from the York, I'm sure. Or maybe that Akatsuki over there. And unfortunately I get set on fire and my steering is taken out, so I reflexively kick off my repair immediately. And that means if I don't avoid these torpedoes, I'm going to get a permaflood. But fortunately my torpedo beats are good today, and I don't get taken out. Or I don't get a torpedo up the stern. So at this point, there are at least 4 ships that are able to see me at least, and so I decided, I gotta get behind this island and start getting bow onto them. The rest of my team is all crowding just south of the sea cap, and some of them are taking B right now. So in a large proportion of the enemy team is taking the A cap, so it looks like if we can take care of the ships on this side of the map, we can then proceed and take out the rest on the far side. So I've sped up the time a little bit to get me past the island. And I'm scanning for targets, and there's the enemy Akatsuki. And you can see with my shots here just how tightly grouped they are. It's one of the things I do like about the American cruisers is just how accurate the guns are, or rather the low dispersion that they have. And I don't quite take out the Akatsuki with that barrage, but I'm spreading my shots around, and here's an enemy Duke of York. Fire some of my American AP at it. And now I have to be careful because my hydro is on cooldown and I'm approaching a smoke, so there could be Akatsuki torpedoes coming through there. I take a shot at the Atlanta, and the Duke of York is definitely fleeing the area. This Nelson is going to spot any torpedoes before me. Hopefully he won't be sacrificed by being taken out by said torpedoes. And then the enemy Akatsuki just pops up for a fraction of a second, just long enough for me to get a shot off at him. And what do you know? My shots are on target, thanks to these accurate guns, and that gets me kill number 2. An enemy Mutsuki is apparently trying to close in to deliver some torpedoes in our direction. And looks like the Duke of York was taken out by the Nelson. So things are pretty good at this point. We have lost 2 destroyers, but the enemy has lost 4 ships. And we have definitely secured the C cap. We have retreated from B. And the enemy fleet, compared to ours, is scattered all over the map. So now we just need to plow our way to the southwest, and we can take these guys out. You'll note I haven't even had to use my surveillance radar to this point, because that's one of the disadvantages, is that you end up getting... If you're within detection range, you can use it, but if you're with a large fleet, it's rare that you're going to need to use the radar to spot somebody when they are not already detected. So it's nice to have it back up, but I'm not necessarily sure I need to have the premium consumable all the time. But the Indianapolis is a decent moneymaker, so spending the extra cost to have it when you desperately need it is definitely a good thing. So here I get set on fire, and unlike the higher tier ships, I cannot repair. And there I get lucky again, since one of my teammates does the majority of the damage to the enemy Atlanta, but I'm able to finish him off. And now the enemy Mutsuki is the major threat. He's kind of stuck out all alone here. He takes a big hit. Can my shots finish him off again? Nope, they're a little bit shallow. So it looks like he's going to go down to the friendly Atlanta. So now it looks like the Cyclone is starting to move in, and our fleet is quickly converging on the B cap from the north, whereas the enemy fleet, we have a definite advantage over them now. They're down 7 ships to our 4. And our ships begin to crowd in to take over B. We should be able to completely overwhelm it. I cut my engine a little bit so I don't run into the friendly Atlanta. But then the Emile Bertin, who tries to avoid the Atlanta, ends up colliding with me. So it looks like we have too many ships here that we're running into targets. And it looks like the enemy fleet is now converging on B. My teammates can see them, but I can't because they're out of my sight range. So I prepare to use my radar at this point. And I don't even bother because there's the enemy Pensacola. Showing a lot of broadside, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, my teammates are about to kill this guy. Should I switch my attention to the Congo? And then once I realized that their latest shot didn't hit it, maybe I should fire, and that gets me kill number 4. Unfortunately, we lost our Fiji. Apparently he must have hit a friendly. So now I end up shooting at the Congo, who's showing a nice amount of broadside. Get a 5K salvo there. He's beginning to turn away. And the odds have suddenly decreased. We have 5 ships left, they're 4. And I get a lot of shatters on his broadside there. So the American AP, while very good at short ranges on battleship broadsides, As soon as they start getting angled, they reduce in effectiveness significantly. And here we go, I get 2 overpens and 3 bounces. But too late to switch to AG at this point. It doesn't matter because the Congo goes down. And our Graf Spee gets a double strike. So fortunately, the close game that was 5-4 is now 5-2. So there's only the enemy Pensacola and their carrier. And so me and the Emile Bertin start heading towards the A-cap to take it and then see if we can discover the carrier on the far side. Whereas our other 2 ships, the Graf Spee and the Atlanta, are both heading towards the Pensacola. So the Emile Bertin comes under attack from the carrier since he has less health than me. And I do have hydro and not defensive fire allocated, so we're able to take out a small amount of planes, but the next strike is liable to take out the Emile Bertin. So the enemy ends up capturing the C cap, so the Pensacola must be in there, so our Atlanta and our Graf Spee are both converging on that cap, whereas me and the Bertin, now that we've captured A, are heading south looking for that carrier, trying to follow the enemy planes back to where they came from. I realize he's probably within my range of radar soon, so I kick it off, and there he is. Here come the planes, and I'm fortunately able to do a bunch of citadels to the Ranger, taking out about half of his health. The Emile Bertin's in trouble though. He gets taken out by the bombers, and I have torpedo planes coming at me, but at this point I'm kind of stuck in tunnel vision, and he does his drop on me. I ignore them while I wait for my shots to come out, and that turns out to be fatal as it kills me, but I do get just a flesh wound and my Kraken unleashed with the final shot to complete the game. So I hope you enjoyed this video of the USS Indianapolis, and if you don't have it yet, I wish you the best of luck with the marathon, and good luck. I hope you'll find that it's a fun ship to play. Thank you again for watching.